think he's going on 4 or 5 years. And again, it's not the elite of the elite. It's a bunch of dudes who are probably going to play high school and then be done. Right,
get a day job.
It's those type of dudes, right? Yeah, the type of guys who are out there because it's a nice extracurricular to have, not because they're trying to make a career of this. Even though the kids are probably trying to make a career of it, but you know, and you're like 5'8" right now. Unless you shoot up like a foot,
not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening for you. But went to a tournament. He was down here in Memphis.
Yeah,
from Clarksville, Tennessee to here. And they were like, yeah, it'll be 25.
To do what?
I'm only here for one game.
Exactly.
And I'm not even here to see the children. I just want to see my guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's how much it's going to cost. It's like, oh, well, get out of here.
And they tried, the one I went to
this was weekend, last year.
Yeah, see, they tried to get you to it. This one I was at, they had 2 games.
Yeah.
And they're like, I was like, yo, I'm coming back for the night game. Can I get like a wristband or something? She like looked at me like I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
You only paid $40
you pay
to get into your little your little rinky-dink tournament.
There's no Cooper Flags running around out there. Who else was a top recruit? There was no LeBron James running around out there.
AJ DeBances walking around.
No Sebastian Telfairs.
No.
None of those type dudes
Not
running
even
around out there.
None of
those type dudes running out there. And you want me to pay $20 to see little Mike them run around? Like, come on, man.
Also, one kid, bro, this to like youth sports is getting out of control. One kid, guess got mad at something, rear back, bow, punched a kid in the face, blood dripping everywhere.
I'll turn up. We had a fight, Was it just a one-hitter quitter?
No, it was a one-hitter quitter. Kid hit the ground.
Then none of the teammates came through?
No. He did the Santi Aldama.
Nobody else came through.
Nobody came through.
You see a teammate get punched in the face, you're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
he got it.
He saw the blood. He was like, oh, no. You got it. You're madder than I am.
Get out of here. We can't be allowing that.
Yeah, bro.
I can't imagine paying $20 and watch my child get punched in the face.
The thing is, I don't think the kids, it's funny because like there's no, usually if my kid gets punched in the face, a parent's going to jump on the court. No parents reacted. Like, it was wild, bro. It was a wild scene.
What's going on, everybody? We'll talk more about that probably in Hot Mess Express. No Jessica this week. She's out and about on vacation, I think. I don't know. I don't keep up with it. But you got me. I'm here. Devin will be here all week as well. You heard Devin talking some during the show intro. We've got a great show lined up for you today. The Grizzlies had their rookie press conference. Also, Tuomas Isalo was up on the stage as well. So he took a couple of questions for the first time in front of the media. So we're going to talk about that, obviously, in the first segment. We're also going to get to some of this WNBA news and notes. Caitlin Clark crushed it in the MVP voting. Candace Parker's jersey retirement. So we're going to talk about all of that the first 40 minutes of the show, right? Gary Parrish is going to come in about 8:40, and we're going to have us a great time with Gary Parrish talking more about the Grizzlies presser and more from the world of sports and beyond, because Gary is one of those types of dudes who can go beyond with you from time to time. We got Omar Sankofa at 9:15. Crazy story coming out of Detroit. Malik Beasley under investigation, some gambling stuff. So we'll get his thoughts on that, plus NBA free agency and more with Omar Sankofa of the Detroit Free Press. And then we got Hot Mess Express to end the show. We got Kelce tattoos. We've got car malfunctions. So much good stuff coming your way. You don't want to miss it. And you know what we say. I don't know. I didn't prepare anything.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, baby.
There we go. Yeah.
Presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's going on? Welcome in. Got a great show lined up for you. Devin, the Grizzlies had their rookie press conference over the weekend. They had it on Friday, so nobody had a chance to offer their thoughts. Nobody up here, at least on the Grind City Media airwaves, had a chance to offer their full thoughts on what transpired Friday. What were some of the things that you took away from Friday's rookie presser?
It was 6 p.m. First of all, it was 6 p.m.
Oh,
nobody was able to give it a thought.
Nobody.
These
I
are
didn't know it was 6. I thought it was 3.
Yeah, no, it was at 6. He thought it was at 3 o'clock. It was at 6 o'clock. So these are the freshest thoughts on any airwaves anywhere. I thought it was a clear message. The way Zach talked, the way Tumas talked. By the way, Tumas is a good. You see that photos floating around? Tumas like 6'10", bro.
Yeah.
But I think it's a clear message that there was some dog identification done this offseason. They wanted dogs. They saw dogs. If you could count how many times the word dogs were mentioned at that press conference, I think you would. If you drank every time the word dogs was mentioned, you would probably be lit right now.
You'd be blacked out.
You'd be blacked out. The word dog was mentioned at least a good 35 times. So you could tell that was a clear, okay, we're gonna go get dudes that play hard and play the forget the name on the back of the jersey. You playing for the name on the front. We're gonna play hard every possession. So that was my big takeaway is the dog identification and hearing every one of those dudes talk. They even all showed up in all black. There was
Was that coordinated?
It may have been coordinated, bro.
Okay.
We showed up in all black off the dribble. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We got a little group chat already. That's what we doing. But I thought the only thing I took away is it was a clear message of yo, we got to find some dogs. And these are we looked at the draft. We saw our draft board. Who are the guys that play the hardest? The trigger words were used at least a couple times too, CJ. We got a core 4 mention from our boy Cedric Coward. That means he did his research. He was, and even Meshack mentioned, I watched Tony Allen when I was a kid. Yeah. I was like, yeah, y'all tapped in. So that was fun, man. Also, we got to get our boy Javon Small to smile.
No, because he's a dog.
He was doing
Dogs
the dog thing.
Dogs don't smile.
So, he was not trying to smile. It was like, he was like this. I'm like, bro, it's okay. You just got drafted. You're in the NBA now. But I thought it was dope, though. Like I said, it's clear dogs were the message of that.
We don't have a clear enough definition for dog, right?
I feel like it gets thrown around.
It gets thrown around, and I think that it gets thrown around a lot because we don't have it as sort of a catch-all term for what it actually is, and we don't have a clear definition for it. To me, all a dog is somebody who's going to go in there and be ready when his time comes and is going to bust his ass day in, day out, every single second of every single day of every single moment, right? Like that to me, that is enough for you to be considered a dog. I think everybody should be considered dogs because it's just the bare minimum.
Yeah.
It's just being able to go out there and fight and be willing to compete every single possession. And for the most part, I think most of us have some of that in us. Now, it varies from person to person, degree to degree, but if you get good ones, right? The Thunder have good ones.
Quality dogs.
Have quality dogs. They have quality dudes. And I think sometimes we use dog and doggedness for the hustle plays and specifically the defensive side of the court. And so I think that's where, coming out of that presser, I feel like that's where the front office was looking at improving was defensively. This team really struggled defensively as a unit last year. And when I went back and looked at some of the individual numbers from the Grizzlies and then compared them to other teams of note that warrant the comparison in the West, here's some of the stuff that I found. So this is all per me. I had to do research on this.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, look at CJ doing his
I
research.
know
You got the notebook out for this one?
No, I don't. I have to type it up because it's too much to write down.
Okay.
All right. So defensive-minded players, right? Defense. They say defense wins championships.
They do. It just won a championship.
Who won it?
Oklahoma City.
All right. Thunder have a ton of those, don't they?
They do.
Caruso, Dort, Casey Wallace, Jalen Williams, 3 of the top 5 players in the playoffs from a defensive efficiency standpoint were on the Thunder. 3 of the top 5.
Wow.
Wallace, Chet, and Caruso. So they had 2 of those on the wing. And that's what they got. The Grizzlies just drafted a bunch of perimeter players in the hopes that some of them hit in this sort of a mode. Some of these 3-and-D. You cannot have enough 3-and-D wings in the NBA right now. Keeping this going, when you look at the regular season, the Thunder had 4 of the top 10 and 6 of the top 20 players in defensive efficiency.
Wow.
And that's adjusted for a 60-game minimum.
Yeah.
If we take the 60-game minimum off, Alex Caruso is on there. So that's not even including Alex Caruso. Those players were Isaiah Joe, Conrick Williams, SGA, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, Lou Dort. And then when you adjust for minutes per game, because I saw my man, what's his name, Kenrich on there. I was like, okay, I'm not
guy
sure.
With the shag?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should count him.
We can't put the
He played 16 minutes per game. Played about 17 minutes per game. So I was like, okay, I'll adjust for 20 minutes per game.
Yeah.
So adjusting for 20 minutes per game and 60 games played total. Mm-hmm. The Thunder had 5 of the top 12 players in defensive efficiency.
Damn.
5 of the top 12. That's damn near half of the top 12 in individual defensive efficiency. Isaiah Joe, SGA, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace. Wow. Lou Dort is floating around out there.
It is crazy. Lou Dort, he's like
Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso is floating around out there as well.
Hardenstein.
Hardenstein. But I only look for the perimeter.
Okay.
But Hardenstein is out there as well. Chet is out there as well, being high defensive efficiency type players. Right, and that's what you need. If you're the Grizzlies and you say, okay, how are we going to build this thing? Because I did a lot of salary stuff over the weekend. This second apron,
ain't no joke.
Is atrocious.
It's eating teams alive day by day.
Teams are just dismantling themselves, trying to avoid getting into that. For those of you who don't know, once you hit the second apron, if you're a repeat offender, what is it, 3 of 5 years?
Yep.
You lose first round picks.
Yep.
You lose the ability to sign dudes in free agents. So like the mid-level exception, I think is gone.
Lose that, yep.
I think maybe vet minimum might be gone as well. So you're just out there with a bunch of dudes who should probably be in the G League on their first contract. You're running around with those guys out there trying to field a competitive team, and you're not going to be able to do that.
And that's why the draft's so important for the Grizzlies, because you get guys for so cheap.
You get them for cheap. I heard Vernon say this last week. You need rookie contracts.
Yes.
You need dudes on rookie contracts because those contracts are cheap, and they allow you more flexibility as it pertains to signing your dudes, the dudes who you want to build around. You want to build around Ja? Great. You want to build around Jaren? Great. You need the cap space to be able to sign those guys to their maximum deals without going into the first apron, and certainly without going into the second apron. By comparison, on the individual defensive efficiency ratings, by comparison, the Grizzlies had 2 in the top 50 last year.
Who is it? Jaren and Jalen?
No.
Jaren and Scottie Pippen?
Yep.
Okay.
Jaren and Scottie Pippen Jr. Jaren came in at 28, and Pippen Jr. was 38. KCP, new Grizzly, was 23rd, assuming that he stays.
I'll take that. I saw us, and you mentioned that part, the Sam Presti, he had a quote this weekend where he said, we focus on drafting people, not players. You know what I'm saying? We draft players, but we turn them into hoopers, kind of basically. It was a quote. I think the characteristics of winning players, they multiply at a greater level than just talented players. They scale up better. And a lot of those dudes you just named, like, they are dudes they went and got. Like, they got their SGA, but they put the SGA around the Cason Wallaces of the world. Like, they went and got Jalen Williams. They went and got them. So you drafted players, you turn them into high-level defenders and stuff like that. So it makes me kind of optimistic of, okay, we got our guys. Let's just mold them and shape them into what we want them to be. Also, CJ, I got to make this. I make it abundantly clear. The dark-skinned brothers back on the Grizzlies. I love to see it. We drafted 3 dark-skinned brothers on the team. Made my heart feel good. Shout out to the guys. But it was cool, though. I think it's time for those dudes. They're going to get in the gym. All of them seem like they're going to get in the gym and work. They're excited to be here. They all seem like they chip on the shoulder type of guys. Also, I love that I don't know if anybody caught this, but, like, as you know, like, the guys were answering questions. Cedric Coward, the guy who was the kind of like the prize of the draft, he would always find ways to compliment his guys when he answered his question.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was super dope. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a question about this, and this, but he would talk about Javon doing this or Meshack doing this. I'm like, that's a you know what I'm saying? Already a good teammate from day one. Teammate grade B+ for me already for Cedric Coward.
Already a B+.
Hadn't
even played.
Teammate grade a B+ for me.
May not play this summer in the summer league, which we got summer league games right here on Grind City Media.
We got them.
We had them last year. They'll be back this year. You don't want to miss the summer league or a moment of the Grizzlies going out there and competing. This will be your first look at at all of these guys in a Grizzlies uniform. One of the big takeaways coming away from that presser first time getting a chance to talk to Coach T.I., he said, hey, listen.
6'9" T.I., by the way.
I'm going to be coaching Summer League. He's coaching Summer League because he wants to get in with the younger players and start implementing his stuff as soon as possible. I found that really, really interesting. On the topic of Summer League, Coward may or may not be there. Probably won't be there.
I hope he gives us at least one game.
Okay.
So they got the 2 days. They play in the Utah Summer League too. Yeah. So hopefully we can.
When is Utah Summer League? Do you know?
I think it starts like this week.
Yeah.
It's like this weekend. It starts. And we got some good matchups too. I think we play the Thunder, the Sixers, and the Jazz. There's 3 teams that got 3 like good rookies. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Ace Bailey finally showed up in Utah. You got VJ Escombe in Philly. Then you got the Thunder, got all that. They got the Toppage kid who they drafted last year, who missed the whole season. So it'll be some good matchups this weekend. By the way, Ace Bailey, finally showed up in Utah after all the talk around. Will he show up? He showed up in a slim Utah tee, and apparently he got straight to work when he got to Utah. So.
I saw somebody reporting that the Jazz were allegedly, right? The Jazz were trying to get Greg Ostertag to talk to my man about what it's like.
Greg Ostertag gonna talk to him about?
Like, come on, I don't think he wants to hear from Greg Ostertag about how wonderful Utah is. I'm sure it was wonderful for Greg.
What does Greg Ostertag got to do with it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You got to find. I don't know what the relationship is with Darren Williams, but Darren Williams, I think Carlos Boozer, I thought Boozer was on the tarmac to greet him. So like those are, no disrespect to Greg Ostertag, one of the great big men of the 90s. Just big as hell for no reason. Just somebody go out there and battle and bang with you. All right? No disrespect. But I'm not sure if somebody late teens, early 20s really wants to hear from Greg Ostertag about what his experience was like somewhere.
Would you willing to bet that Ace Bailey has no idea who Greg Ostertag is?
That's a good question.
There's no chance he knows who Greg Ostertag is.
Why do you know Greg Ostertag?
Because I'm like a basketball fiend, low key. Like he was one of those big burly centers in like the 2000s, bro. Like just all he did was set screens and dunked.
Was
like
he
he wasn't
in the 2000s? He was like 90s.
He was 90s?
Yeah, he
like
was.
Scott Pollard.
Scott Pollard is 2000.
He's 2000. Okay.
Scott Pollard was also a character. Scott Pollard had weird things going on with his hair, both on top of his head and on the beard and stuff. He would dye that and do funky stuff with it. So I understand knowing Scott Pollard.
Yeah.
If you weren't alive
you don't really know
for that Jazz run in the 90s, I'm not sure why you would know Greg Ostertag.
Like, hey, you got to be really tapped in to know Greg Ostertag.
You got to.
Like Tree Rollins.
Oh,
like dudes like that, bro. Like just hanging around. By the way, speaking of Ace Bailey, we got history of Ace Bailey, CJ. He's wearing number 19, a very obscure number. Did you know, CJ Hurt, only 5 players in NBA history have won the number 19?
No, I didn't know that.
19 is a very rare number, bro. It's also an ugly number. That's probably why. Ace Bailey joins the list of Justin Harrison, Simone Fasciano. I'm not going to try to say these names, but only 5 guys in the league last year were number 19.
Keep going, Devin. No, keep saying the names,
These names are freaky, bro. These are freaky numbers. I'm not reading.
Keep saying the freaky ass names.
No. Jonathan Williams is on this list too as well. I got his name. But 5 guys last year in the NBA wore 19, and Ace Bailey's going to join that like exclusive list. A lot of guys. Number 19 is not a number everybody wants to wear. So
I didn't know. So in high school, I'm pretty sure you can't wear 19 because you have to have.
You got to be able to count the number.
Right?
Yeah.
So 1-9, you can't do that. It has to be able to be shown on
Who's
like
the greatest
one hand.
NBA 19 of all time?
I don't know. You just named. Well, you tried to name some of them. You didn't get them all. While you're trying to figure that out, the Salt Lake City Summer League starts July 5th, 7th, and 8th. So it starts on the 5th. The Grizzlies will play day 1 at 5 Mountain Time. So what's that? 4 our time. Against the Oklahoma City. They get Oklahoma City right off the bat at Salt Lake City on July the 5th. And again, Summer League presented by Pinnacle is going to be broadcast. The Grizzlies games will be broadcast right here on the Grind City Media app, airwaves, and all that jazz. Have you figured out the best number 19 in NBA history?
I think we may have found the best number 19.
Okay, who is
We're going to go Willis. I think Google says Willis Reed.
Oh, well, I didn't know Willis Reed was 19.
Yeah.
I don't know none of these dudes' numbers. I just know them.
Leandro Barbosa, we're number 19.
Barbosa? No, it's only one Barbosa.
Yeah, the one that played for the Warriors and the Suns. I guess he wore 10 with the Suns and 19 with the Warriors.
Didn't he spend time with the Spurs, or I'm mixing him up with
I think, you make Boris Diaw.
Diaw is
They do look alike.
Diaw is the one with 2. It's 2 Diaws. There's 2 different Diaws.
No, it's just like he's like round, so he looks like 2 people.
No.
What other Diaw are you talking about?
The skinny Diaw, and then it's the bigger Diaw. It's 2 different Diaws.
He's like a Pokemon. He
evolved. He changed. He went from Ratchet to Eradicate real fast, and all of it, and he was still good.
Still good.
He was still good.
He was like skinny Diaw for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, bro. My guy started eating good.
Man,
he started eating real good.
Metabolism slows down for us all, man.
He can still hoop though. That's what matters.
Man, that's all that matters.
So shout out to him. Yeah, Willis Reed is our greatest 19. Sam Cassell also wore 19.
Oh, great.
Bob Cousy wore 19.
Oh, there are a ton of 19s.
No, there's not that many. No, that's where the list stops.
Okay,
that's where like the list literally stops right there. Hopefully, our boy Cedric Cowell can be the best 23 in Grizzlies history, because I don't know if you saw this, but Roser read off the list of players that have won 23 for us.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little spooky.
Who is it?
A little spooky. Let me see if I can find it. It was Derrick Rose.
Okay.
Of course, he's a legend. The lineage is just crazy, so we got to give him his respects. We had Jared Culver. Let me see if I can find the list real quick. Jared Culver, Derrick Rose, Marco Guduric, Ben McLemore, Deontay Davis.
I remember being high on Ben McLemore.
Yeah, crazy athlete, right? Good shooter.
Yeah.
His family showed up to every game. Wild as hell. Deontay Davis. Okay. And last but not least, CJ, Grizzlies legend, Casey Jacobson.
Oh, wow.
So, Cedric, the floor is laid. You can be the greatest 23 in Grizzlies history. Please go do that, please, because this list is ass.
While we were talking, while the presser was going on and questions were flying and we were learning about the players on the court, I think Drew Hill had the question about Coward cooking, which apparently he cooks.
Oh, he's a great baker, apparently.
I did not know that. He said he likes to cook wings, and boy, do I got some news for you. You might not have to cook them in this city.
That's what I told him. That I saw him. So he's interviewed on Friday, and I told him, I said, bro, we are a chicken wing city, my guy. He was like, I was like, look, the 2 key words are honey gold. He was like, oh, yeah, I never had that before. I was like,
of course you haven't. You don't have honey gold until you get here.
Just you wait. That honey gold sauce will change your life. Then if you want to get freaky, you can remix it with the honey hot. Oh, your life really changed then.
Oh, you want to get freaky deaky?
Oh, we doing lemon pepper on it?
Come on now.
Woo!
Honey hot with the lemon pepper? Come on now, Devin. Come on.
The honey hot with the lemon. Look, I'm telling you, bro.
With the blue drink?
What
or the red drink? Or the orange drink? Whatever. You go to different wings places have different colored drinks.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, we just asked the color.
Hey, give me the red one. Give me the blue one.
Which one you want? Give me the orange one this time.
Give me the
blue. But no, I'm telling you, we're going to have to give a list, CJ. We're going to have to give him a list of places to eat. I know we can't do it right now. We got to give him a list of wing spots he can hit, because you say.
Why we can't do it right now?
Can we? You want to go right? We go Ching's.
Yep.
We go Crumpy's.
Yep.
We go All Stars.
Yep.
We can go. What else we go? We go count Mr. P's.
Yeah. I got in-laws. They're kind of partial to Debo's. They like Debo's.
Shout out my guy Debo that be hitting me up on Twitter, bro. I gotta come.
They rock with Debo's.
Who else we got? We got a whole list, bro.
Listen. Not. You don't think about them as a wing spot, but Central Barbecue's wings, the smoked wings, and they've got the sweet heat. Now, listen, for somebody like me in my old age, I can't eat the sweet heat all the time.
You can't do sweet heat?
Not from Central. So Wednesday, I can do some sweet heat.
Yeah.
Because I'm not coming to work on Thursday, right? So when I wake up, I got time to just be in the bathroom for a while. Just sweating.
He got the sweat.
Sweating.
He got the
sweat towel and everything.
He like Pops, bro. He like Pops.
Dabbing the sweat and spraying the air freshener, man.
Sweet heat.
The Central sweet heat is wonderful.
I'm gonna have to tap in. Bro.
It's incredible.
I'm gonna tap in because I ain't never had the sweet heat. I had the wings, but I ain't never had the sweet heat. But no, Said, we got you on the wing spot. You say you like to bake. What else did we learn about? Also, I love to learn more about Javon Small's grandfather, who went viral.
I'm sure we'll get a chance. I forget who you were talking about. Parents being at every game. Was it Macklemore's parents being at every game? That seems like a grandfather. That seems like a family member.
Yes.
Who's like, yo, I drove. Do you know how dedicated you gotta be to drive these children to all of these AAU tournaments on the weekend?
Yes.
And do you know how frustrating it can be as a person who loves this 12-year-old boy or girl, and to see them just goof around after you've driven 5 hours to this tournament?
You think this is funny?
You think it's a game?
Do you think this gas is free?
I had a buddy of mine. She had her son. They're in Birmingham. She drove like 4 hours somewhere in Georgia for a tournament. Yeah. And I ended up calling her, and she's chewing him out on the way home. The whole 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's going on? What did he do? He don't want to bend his knees and move his feet on defense. So I'll tell you what, when we get home, all you going to do when you get in the house, you don't walk around, you slide around now. You going to slide up and down the stairs. You're going to slide into the kitchen to make you something to eat. You going to slide around to do your chores. And you going to pay me back the money I paid for playing. I was like, God. So I say all of that to say, one of those made it. His version made it.
He's in the NBA.
Small is in the NBA. He made it. So you know he's gonna be at every damn game.
Oh, we need Pops. We need Papa's, what he called him. We need him next to Mark Goodfellow. Put him right in between Mark Goodfellow, T. Morant, and Moneybag.
Right there on the floor.
We know it right on the floor. Because, bro, he was telling how he was like, bro, you know how dedicated my grandfather was. He said when I was at Oklahoma State, my grandfather, he was like, you know how crazy it was to look up and see a 60-year-old in the student section?
Why is he in the student section?
Great question.
That was my first thought.
You couldn't get Pops better tickets?
Like, he's family. Y'all got NIL now. If the school can't get you tickets, can't you just pay for the tickets behind the bench?
Pops was in the student section.
In the student
60
section.
60 years old, turning up.
And not just any student section.
Oklahoma
State student section.
Stillwater.
Like
we know what goes on in Stillwater.
That's going to stand out. That's absolutely going to stand out. But outside of that, outside of those things, like it was a pretty good press conference.
Yeah.
It was all of them seemed pretty impressive. And you need one or two of these dudes to hit. Because like we said earlier, you got to get dudes on the cheap. You got to get dudes on the rookie contract, and you cannot have enough 3-and-D wings. You just can't. When you look at what the Pacers are, when you look at what the Thunder are, when you look around when the Celtics were rolling, what they were, you look at what the Cavs were this year. They had a pretty remarkable regular season. It kind of fell apart and got away from them in the postseason. But still, you look at what they were. You think of about what the Magic are going to be. Not so much the 3 part, but the D part for the Magic, right? Like that's what they were. Now maybe that changes with Desmond Bane, but what they were before Bane got there, like the good teams, some of the good teams are built that way.
Yeah.
And if you're a small market team like the Grizzlies, you hope to be built that way. You say from the moves that you've made, it's John Jaren, and then you build around it. And so look forward to seeing how it all shapes out. For
one last thing one last note on the offseason, the presser, and another thing I noticed that they were talking about, it was a kind of a big thing when Tumas brought it up. He talked about length, about guys with long arms on defense. He talked about having like switchability on things like that. He said when we walked into this draft, it was like getting guys that have long arms. You know what I'm saying? Long, like they can really expand and switch on defense. So I think these 3 dudes fit the bill. I know Javon Small 6'1", 6'2", but got long ass arms, right? Cedric Coward is 6'5". He was in the studio. Dude, shoulders up to here, arms down to his pockets, right?
Yeah.
Put his hands in his pockets. Meshack.
Real quick, if you missed that interview on the Chris Vernon show, go back and watch it.
Go tap in, please. Go tap in. But yeah, Meshack also another guy, long wingspan. So I think length was a big thing with those 3 guys too. So to have guys on the defensive side, because we talked about Oklahoma City, all those dudes from SGA to Jalen Williams to Caruso, all crazy wingspan. So that was another kind of thing I took away from it, was they noted about how big length was. Pause.
Absolutely. No need to pause. We like them long. We like them strong. That's the ones with the good D, man. NBA offseason, full swing. It's getting hot and heavy. LeBron James opted into his $50-something million contract. I think it's like 52.6. And when I first saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're going to pay me $50 million. I'm opting in also. Why would I not? But then he started doing the LeBron thing where it is, okay, I'm opting in, but I'm keeping an eye on what you're doing. And now reports since that come out, that's according to Shams, and this is according to Shams also. Since then, he's been, I'm keeping an eye on what you're doing. And now the LeBron sweepstakes is not a summertime unless we talk about where the hell LeBron James is going to play basketball next season. So he was at dinner in New York with Kevin Love, who plays for the Miami Heat, and Kevin Love's wife. So he was hanging out in New York City. So folks are like, hey, is that a sign? There's rumors about him potentially going to Dallas somehow.
The Cleveland thing came up too.
The Cleveland thing has come up. It's exhausting. It is trying to having to play these games with these people. It's not an off season. That's how I know we're at the height of the football off season.
Yeah.
When we're coming in, we're doing the whole, hey, where's LeBron playing next year?
He dangles the carrot out once a year, right?
Yeah.
And I think we all know somebody, a human, either a boy or a girl, who's like LeBron James, where they feel like nobody's talking about them, CJ. So we gotta do something to make you talk about me, right? We're too much in the shadows. We gotta do something to make you talk about me. Bron, you got Bronny drafted. You got Bronny playing time on the Lakers. Bro, you ain't going nowhere, dog. Like, let's not play this game, Bron. Like, we ain't got to do the charades and the carrot. You didn't get your son drafted on the Los Angeles Lakers for you to go play for another team. That you didn't do that. So stop. Like I said, I understand. I know some people like you. When somebody's not talking about you enough, you got to, like, piss somebody off to make, you know what I'm saying, make them, oh, wait, what's LeBron doing? LeBron, we don't believe you. You're going to be a Laker. You're going to be a Laker regardless, dog. It's like, why? Why do you do this, bro?
I don't know, man.
He wants us to talk about him. LeBron wants us to talk about him.
He had the opportunity to leave from, according to reports at the time and reports that have surfaced right now. Had a chance to go with Golden State. They called the Lakers to inquire about LeBron right before the trade deadline, and through Rich Paul. Rich Paul was like, hey, he's good. He enjoys being in LA. He's not interested.
And so Golden State. LeBron's the type of person that celebrates his whole birthday month.
Oh, easy.
He is that person.
Easy.
He is that person.
And he has half birthdays.
Exactly.
He has half birthdays.
And he lets you know.
He's a grown-ass man with half birthdays.
He lets
I'm 40 and a half.
It's my half birthday.
Come on now.
Celebrate me.
Yeah.
But
listen, man, it's hard to, because of the aprons, because of the luxury tax, the first apron and the second apron, it's going to be hard to pay a dude $50-some million and then be able to build a roster around him that's going to be good enough to win a championship.
You already saw Austin Reeves, I think last week, declined his option,
yeah.
Right? So it's I mean, you got Luka, you got Bron, and what else you really got over there in LA right now?
You still need a big.
You still need a big.
You still need one of those rim running, get up there and get a lob type big to play with Luka.
There's one that came up yesterday. You see, he got bought out of his $36 million contract.
He's not going up above the rim. DeAndre Ayton ain't going above the rim.
Bro, you know how buns you have to be, CJ, for them to say, we're buying you out of $36 million contract? Hey, go home. I don't want you here.
But some of that is
$36 million?
Some of that is also, all right, what are we really going to be able to do if we're the Trailblazers? How far are we actually going to be able to go? We just drafted a couple of really young centers that fit into the Scoot Henderson timeline, so we've got them. Yeah. What do we need to do making 36? We want to make sure that we are well under the cap so that when time comes for us to make the push, we can make the push. We can go out there and make the trade and bring in the big time contract that gets us over the hump. We're not going to be able to do that. How many more years did he have? 3?
I
think he had 2 or 3. He had 2 more? Yeah, like let's go ahead and get off of that so that it gives us a bit more cap flexibility, and we can go out there and play these young centers. It's the same type move, similar, not near as much, but similar to the Colin Sexton for Jusuf Nurkic trade, where it is, okay, what's going on here? Well, if you look at Utah, they got Ace Bailey and they got my man from Florida.
Keontae George. They got so many guards in Utah
They just drafted the dude from Florida also. Why do I want to say Walter?
Oh, Walter Clayton Jr.
There we go.
Yeah.
They just drafted him too. Well, we got to free up minutes for those dudes to get out there and play. Really don't need Colin Sexton. So, yeah, we'll move Sexton. We'll bring in Nurkic, and we'll let the young players behind them play. Now, that was a trade that happened, and it was a trade, same player contract. Mm-hmm. It's expiring at the end of this season. So, hey, we can move the guard and bring in a big and be good to go.
Because they got so many guards.
Yeah.
They got Isaiah Hendricks. They got Keontae George. They got Jordan Clarkson. They just drafted 2 guards, so they had to get rid of Colin.
Yeah,
I wish they would have
that.
I wish they would have sent him to us. Because look, we're dog identification right now, and he is the epitome of a dog. I'll never forget in high school he was talking shit to Penny. You remember that video that was going around? He was at the free throw line talking shit to Penny Hardaway.
I remember
him bust Jaden's ass in the game.
Telling him his son sucks. And
stuff. He's a dog.
So I forgot the Trailblazers also just signed Drew Holiday, right? So they just traded for Drew Holiday. You got that big contract with Ayton's big contract. Like, there's no reason to have both of those big contracts.
But you know how bad you got to be though to say like to not don't do your job. I'm going to pay you $36 million. Hey, by the way, this is the same guy, CJ. I don't know if you remember this. Remember he couldn't make the game because it was snowing in his neighborhood? Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
It was snowing in his. He said, "I can't make the game tonight because it's snowing in my neighborhood."
They couldn't get to him, so he was like, "Yo, I can't make it because of the snow." They said, "Don't worry, DeAndre, we're coming to get you." They got there and they're like, "Oh no, we can't get him. We can't get there." They couldn't get into the neighborhood to get him.
You could come on, bro. There's so many ways to go get somebody from their house.
Devin, if he couldn't get out and they couldn't get in.
I think that tells you, whoa, that's crazy. But I think that tells you what kind of like.
I mean, it's hard to get in.
He's like, look, bro, I'm going to just stay at the crib. Y'all got it tonight. It's icing around here. That's like what we would do.
Yeah.
For our day job.
Yes.
He's
a regular person. He's a regular person.
Bro, come on, bro.
Fly the private jet, land it in the street if you want him to get there so bad. I don't know what to tell you.
My guy was like, yo, y'all got it tonight.
There. He couldn't get out. Y'all couldn't get in. He's not coming in. Like, what do you want?
And then my guy got caught on, bro. I'm just saying, DeAndre, he's a lot of stuff. Then he got caught on Snapchat with the freaky stuff. Like, DeAndre.
Who hasn't been caught on the Snapchat with the freaky stuff? Draymond Green was caught on the Snapchat with the freaky stuff. You don't remember that? Yeah, it was during which
I don't want to Google
World
that.
Cup?
I can't Google it on. I can't Google it on the
Yeah, you can. Google Draymond Snapchat. It might have been during the Olympics. Draymond played on the Olympics because it was Boogie Cousins was making fun of him at practice. Boogie was doing this thing at practice, like, ooh, I'm Draymond. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, he did get caught. 2016.
Yeah.
He told reporters, I pressed the wrong button. We've all been. Draymond, respectfully, we've all been there. We've all
disrespectfully. No, the hell we haven't. but respectfully, if ever I get there, just know I accidentally pressed the wrong button or I've been hacked.
You've definitely pressed the wrong button before, bro.
No.
You've done it on purpose. If you're gonna see it, you're gonna see it.
Wait, what are we talking about? What
I think he said he pressed the wrong button. That was his way to get out of it.
So how many buttons do you got to press for that to go out?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Right.
It's like Shannon Sharp. It's like the Shannon Sharp video. Right. He's like, yo, I didn't try to go live. Like, Shannon, I've gone live many a times. You know,
it's a lot of steps to go live.
It's a lot of steps to go live, bro. You want to get out there.
So yeah, have I pressed buttons for stuff like that to happen? Yes, but it hadn't been the wrong button, right? Like, it's like 4 buttons you need to press, and that 4th one, you really need to pay attention to what's going on there. Really need to make sure you're sending it,
especially on Snapchat,
to the right person, not the right people.
There you go. There you go.
Before we get to a break, big news in the WNBA last night or yesterday afternoon. Candace Parker had her jersey retired. Her LA Sparks jersey retired. It's hanging up in the rafters right next to Lisa Leslie's jersey. Big moment, huge moment for Candace Parker. 13 of her 16 seasons were spent with the Sparks. She won a championship in 2016. She won a championship in 2016. She was Finals MVP that year. She was joined alongside her wonderful family. Her daughter, who's now 16, Candace had in her 2nd season in the WNBA, which is huge. You see her out there in that orange. Shout out to the Tennessee Volunteers where she played. She's up there with Penny Tallier and Lisa Leslie as well for the Sparks to all have their jerseys retired. 2-time MVP for the Sparks. She's a leader in assists. She's 2nd in Sparks history and rebounds and points. Only WNBA player to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season.
And by the way, in that same season, bro, she won a college championship in that same calendar year.
Like 2 months before, a month before getting drafted.
Like, you know how cold you got to be, bro?
Incredible stuff.
I won a natty. Then I'm gonna go to the pros. I'm gonna cook y'all too.
Won a natty, go to the pros, win MVP as a rookie.
At a rookie.
Come on, man.
Candace is 101. And I remember as a kid, we used to watch her play, and we're like, bro, when we saw her dunk for the first time?
Yep.
We were like, yo, she is.
Wait, are you talking about the
dunk in college?
The high school? I saw the high school dunk. The what we call the McDonald's All-American dunk contest. I saw that one. and then she did it in college.
Yeah, Candace is one of the greatest.
Yeah.
And then I remember when she came here, we honored her at the Martin Luther King Day celebration. I feel like I was in the presence of like royalty. Because I think she might be one of the woes, bro. One of the greatest women's, like if we go top 3, I think she's in that conversation of top 3 best women's players ever to do it. And for her, we were obsessed with her when I was a kid. We hated Sheldon Williams because we were like, yo, how did he bag her? We always thought that was a thing. We was like young high school was like, bro, how did Sheldon Williams bag Candace Parker? Man. So shout out to you, Sheldon Williams. I don't know what you're doing now, but good for you. But man, Candace is 101, man. Like pass, dribble, shoot, defense, and even Angel Reese yesterday. We got to show Angel some love. First player in WNBA history with 4 straight 15 rebound games. No, like she had a couple me-bounds yesterday, probably 4 or 5 offensive rebounds.
No, I don't think
she's been playing her
that
ass off. 21, 15, and 7, 17, 18, and 2, 18, 17, and 6, 10, 19, and 4. Hey, I know she gets a lot of smut on the internet. People talk crazy about Angel Reese, but I think she's finally kind of coming to her own, bro. Like, whereas she's finding her place. She's getting the ball off the backboard, dribbling in transition, making plays. Angel Reese is hooping, CJ. She is hooping. The team is ass, but she is hooping.
Angel Reese had 4 offensive rebounds yesterday. I'm not sure how many of those were me-bounds. I was upset that game was on. It's like, why in the hell am I being forced to watch 4-11 Sparks versus 5-11 Sky, right? And then halftime happened. It was like, oh, this is why. Because of Candace.
Yeah, it's Candace.
All right, great. Where you bring up Angel Reese and the way they're trying to build her, the way the Sky want her to develop is a lot like what Candace Parker was.
Exactly.
It's a lot like that, where it is, hey, Angel, we want to put the ball in your hand. You are a great wing player in high school, and you came into college as a wing player before, you got moved to the post. We think you can do some of that. You can be a facilitator. You can run the offense. You can get the assists. You can get everybody in the right spots. And then you can be a tremendous rebounder on the defensive end as well as a pretty solid rim protector as well. And for her to go out there in that moment, in that game, as Candace Parker's jersey had just been retired, somebody who is in the same, who they hope, the Sky hope can be some version of what Candace Parker was. I think that was pretty cool to get to sit down and see. I wish it would have been the Liberty Dream game, because that's a game that I was trying to get to. But Candace Parker's jersey being retired, like you said, one of the greats in one of the greats in WNBA history. She was on the All-20 team and All-25 team as well.
She's the reason why a lot of girls play basketball. Like
a true game changer.
Reeses.
Yeah, a true game changer.
Yeah, that's like the reason about the Angel Reeses of the world. Like the reason why they hoop is because of the Candace Parkers of the world. So like you said, like a full circle moment. I saw a video of after the game, Angel made sure she ran up to Candace, right, to make sure like, yo, I had to let you know that you are my idol.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're kind of Candace won a championship in Chicago, her hometown. So maybe she can.
Candace has 3 of them. She has one with the Spark, one in Chicago, and then one with the Aces.
So then maybe she can, like you said, maybe they can mold her to be the Candace Parker of the, like all the charades aside, like Angel can hoop. She can hoop. And so like the last 4 games, she's looking more like Candace Parker than the person that's trolling online. So
now, that team is still 5-11.
They suck.
It's a development process, absolutely. But I can see it didn't look good early this season. But as the season has gone on, we're about 16 games in. I can see what the vision might be for the Sky. You can't talk about Angel Reese without talking about Caitlin Clark. So we will definitely talk about Caitlin Clark a little bit later on in the show. Gary Parrish is going to come in here in the next segment. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies, their rookie presser, what he thinks about Coach Thomas Isolo in his first press conference with the media, plus more from the world of sports and beyond right here on the Jessica Benson Show.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
There are futures for Aaron Judge possibly hitting 400. Hitting 400 at the All-Star break, plus 600.
Oh, wow.
To have a 400 batting average in the regular season, plus 3,800. To win the Triple Crown is only plus 145.
I don't think he's going to hit 400 for the season.
I don't either. I that would be
ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back in. Jessica Benson Show. Jessica is out doing stuff. What she's doing, I'm not really sure. But Gary is here.
Present.
I know exactly what Gary's doing. He's doing this show, and he's got his show right after this.
That's the plan.
How's it going, man?
Things are good. How's everything in the big studio today?
We're chilling, bro. I just want to know, bro. Your team sucks. Y'all keep losing. You got that hat on. You got that Mets hat on. Y'all.
But they didn't start off sucking. Like, they started off like running dude.
You got swept this weekend.
No, it's crazy. They've lost like 12 of their past 15. Got swept this weekend by the Pirates. Were outscored 30-4, which is the largest margin of victory in a 3-game sweep in Mets history, like in a bad way.
Oh, no.
And then also, this is the first time they've ever allowed, or one of the few times they've ever allowed a team to score at least 9 runs on them in 3 straight games. That happened this weekend. What's crazy about it is, like, there's nothing unique or that unusual about the Mets sucking. That's my whole life. But they were literally like, you guys would follow NFL Power Rankings or NBA Power Rankings. Those are updated every week on websites all over the world. The Mets were like number 1 in the MLB Power Rankings like 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And for them to be turning in this way, some of it's injury, some of it's performance, some of it's the ups and downs of baseball. But yeah, it's not. It's the season was fun, and it hasn't been for a few weeks.
You had like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy throwing out the first pitch.
It's
you had my girl Tiffy Time.
Tiffy Time was there. Tiffany Stratton, of course. Yeah, they've tried everything. We're close to bringing back Grimace. I don't know if you're familiar with last year.
Yeah.
They had Grimace of McDonald's fame throw out a first pitch, and that's when they got hot and ended up into the playoffs. So there's a push. I don't know if it's an online petition yet, but if they put it in front of me, I'll sign it to get Grimace back out. Let's throw that first pitch one more time and get things moving in the right direction. It's a long season. We'll be fine.
Is that the way to fix it, Grimace? Is there anything else they can do other than
starting
get Grimace
pitching?
Back? Okay.
I would prefer starting pitching over Grimace.
Is Noah Syndergaard still on y'all's
Oh,
team?
buddy, he had since he stopped dating Alex Cooper, it's been all downhill for him.
See, that's what happens, bro.
It is wild how quickly, Noah Syndergaard, because at one time he was a big deal.
Yes, he was.
He's starting wild card games. He's starting World Series games. He's got the hair. He's nicknamed Thor. Just completely gone. He's just disappeared. It happens in baseball in ways that you just do not see it happen in basketball. Like in basketball, there is no 23-year-old all-star who would be out of the league by 28. That's just not going to happen. That happens in baseball all the time. You can win an MVP in baseball
and be gone in 2 years.
And be a bum in 2 years. Like Cody Bellinger won an MVP, then couldn't hit. Now he's bounced back a little bit, I guess, but baseball's weird, man.
Yeah. What about Jacob DeGroat's name? Jacob DeGroat?
Now that 2-time Cy Young Award winner, that was my heart.
Okay.
At a time where I was questioning everything in this world, I believed in Jacob DeGrom still.
Yeah.
Injury problems have derailed his career, but he's pitching in Texas now.
Okay.
Almost threw a no-hitter a few days ago. He threw a one-hitter. He's still awesome when he's healthy. He's just not healthy too often.
Okay.
Home run derby announcements are being made now. So Acuna came out last week. He's going to be in it. The big dumper is apparently in it as well.
I'm not calling another grown man the big dumper.
You got to call him the big dumper,
I'm
dog.
not calling a grown man the big dumper, bro.
Why not?
Come on, bro. I'm not calling. I'm sorry. What's his name? What's his real name?
I don't know him. I only know him as the big dumper.
What's his government?
I don't know who the big dumper is.
Oh, it's like this big burly white dude that hits home runs.
I don't.
I think he's for the Mariners. That's all I got for you. It's a big dumper running around out there for the Mariners. I think that's all I know. He got a fat ass, dog.
Yeah. Caleb Raleigh.
I'm not typing the big. I'm not.
Type big dumper in.
A lot of things can come up when you type
in big dumper. You just type Draymond Snapchat in.
I did do
type
that.
big dumper in.
Not. You type it in?
I did. It's Caleb Raleigh plays for the Mariners.
Okay.
Gold Glove winner.
All right.
It's a AL West thing. I don't get involved in AL West stuff too much. Baseball's kind of a weird sport also in the sense that most baseball fans follow their team.
It's very regional.
You follow your team and then you become familiar with the other teams. Your team plays a lot. So for me, it'd be NL East teams. And then everything else just sort of happens. And it's not something that is so prominent that it shows up in SportsCenter or it's going to dominate your timeline. So things can be happening in the AL West or just off of most baseball fans' radars. And just because it's happening in baseball doesn't mean that you would even be aware of it. For instance, if somebody scores 50 points at any night in an NBA season,
we're gonna know.
Everybody's going to know about it. Somebody could hit 3 homers tonight for a baseball team you don't follow, and you will not hear about that.
He's hit 32 home runs, GP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a home run leader in the majors. Cisco prophetized this.
You didn't know who he was.
The big dumper is this. The big dumper, those 3 words in order, is not something I have literally ever heard attached to a baseball player until you guys brought it to my attention.
I don't want that to be a thing. I'm not calling another grown man the big dumper.
Sounds like what? What?
Is it because he has a big butt?
Well, there was a dude
that's
in
why he's got a big ass. He's a thick, stout brother.
He's thick.
But he's not a brother, but he's thick and stout.
Are we talking about Zion thick or are we talking about?
He about that
Kyle
thick.
Lowry thick.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry's a thick boy.
That's what I'm saying.
He about Zion thick. He thick.
The big dumper, huh?
Big dumper. Big dumper. Gary, I bring big dumper up. I brought Acuna up.
My bad.
Anybody you would like to see
the
in the
big
home run
dumper's fun. They got
derby?
the Punisher in the Diddy trial, so they got the Punisher.
The Punisher and the big dumper. The Punisher's that's a better baseball name than the big dumper.
We might need to get the Punisher and the big dumper in the same room.
Yeah, no, there's
not enough baby oil for all of that. Home run derby, Gary. Anybody you want to see?
Obviously, Pete Alonso, right?
Okay.
I mean,
your guy's still in it.
He's won a couple of them, and he's sort of your classic traditional home run hitter, big guy, really strong. The thing that gives him an advantage in a home run derby, I think, is that for certain guys, you've got to barrel it up and hit it to get it out. But he's the type of guy who's just so strong. He doesn't have to connect on every pitch perfectly to get it out. He can miss balls and still get them out. And I would assume that would be helpful in a home run derby. Yeah. But that is, of all the all-star festivities that we get in American professional sports, NBA All-Star Weekend gets a lot of attention in part because it's such a disappointment annually. But Major League Baseball All-Star festivities are pretty good.
Yeah, I think the Home Run Derby's
Home Run Derby's fun because they put a clock on it. And then the game is actually cool because whereas, sure, in an NBA All-Star game, you get Steph Curry on one side and LeBron James on the other, there's never really a moment where they're trying to do anything to each other. In baseball, all the pitchers are going to throw one inning at most, and the hitters are in the box, and it's almost like a mindset of, well, I'm here. Might as well play. Like I might as well, So the pitchers are actually pitching.
Yeah.
And they're just not going to pitch for long. But while they're on the mound, they're going to really pitch. And the hitters are like, well, I don't, whole world's watching. I might as well swing it.
Yep.
And so you got real competition between two humans. Nobody's going to run into a wall trying to make a play.
Sliding into first or second.
We're not going to do all that stuff. Yeah. But like in the context of, here's a man trying to throw a ball, and here's a man trying to hit a ball. They're going to compete in that moment in a way you don't get with NBA All-Star Weekend, at least.
Who else is in the Derby other than the Dumper?
They hadn't announced
my
yet.
Dog, my dog Robert Acuña's in it, too.
Yeah, we said Acuña.
I need my dog to win it.
Acuña, Dumper. I would assume that Alonso is in it. I would assume that Judge is in it as well.
That's way too close to remember that dude? Brian Pumper, but continue.
Adult film legend.
He's a real legend. You know about him? You know about Brian Pumper?
I don't know Brian.
All right, never mind. We're not going to.
Devin losing his hat, thinking about some of the good quality stuff he's done. He's up there in the tier with Mr. Marcus and Johnny Sins in them.
Okay.
He's up there, GB.
I mean, I've probably seen him.
Brian Pumper's up there, man.
I've probably seen his work. I just don't know his name.
My guy's up there.
I'm better with faces than I am with names, I'm better with faces. I can remember a face anywhere, but the names I don't hold on to so well.
Speaking of
I bet I've seen his work, though.
You've definitely seen his work.
My
guy's
seen his
Hall
work.
of Famer for sure.
I've seen his work. I'm certain.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Paul.
Speaking of,
there's a story. What's that?
Wait.
God, what is her name? I forget this every time I'm going to say it.
Texas.
No, but like in that.
Corinne Steffens.
No, but she works in the same industry.
Got you.
She lived at, somebody just Google adult film star who lived in Oklahoma and died of a cocaine overdose.
Don't do it on the company Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you could do that. Adult film star died in Oklahoma, cocaine overdose, like fentanyl, whatever. It's the classic story. Everybody's got that
Jesse James.
Jesse James.
There we go.
So I am flying to Baltimore, I believe, for the Veterans Classic to go to the Naval Academy to do sideline on that. And we're connecting in Atlanta. And I sit down in my seat, and this woman is walking down the aisle. And I'm just sort of looking, I've got AirPods in and whatever. And I'm just sort of looking up, and I recognize her immediately. I don't know her. I can't play. It's like I don't know her, but I know that I should. Honest to God, the first thing that went through my head was, did she used to work at the Saucer or something? Like it felt
back
like,
in the day?
It just felt like that. It
Yeah.
felt like she has served me drinks before.
Yes.
I know this woman.
Yeah.
And so it felt so familiar that I actually hit her with a, hey, what's up? I swear to God, on my kids, this is true. I looked up at her and I was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, man, what is her name? Did she bartend at the Saucer or was she at Huey's?
Yeah.
I was trying to place it and then I was like, oh my God. And it hit me out of nowhere. Like, oh, I know exactly who that is. And I went to her Twitter. You could probably look all this up. And she was like, on my way to either D.C. or Baltimore. She was going to an NFL game. And she was flying up to go to a Commanders game or one of those games. So it would confirm we're clearly on the same flight. It was definitely her. And it was both. It was just a weird moment. Like I hit this woman. I wonder how often that happens to these people. You see them and it's like, man, I see this person all the time.
But for good reason.
And then it's like, but I
say
can't quite
anything else
place
to
them.
her? Did you say, hey,
big fan of your work. Big fan of your work.
I didn't know how to say it. That was the extent of our conversation. Our whole interaction was me going, hey, what's up? And she went, hey, what's up? And that was it. We left it right there. But anyway, rest in peace.
She's gone.
She, I don't know what happened, but she was having them. I would have guessed she was just having good time up until her, her heart stopped.
Going. If we could send you back in time.
Please do.
I would like for you to go up to her.
Or up in time. I'll take either.
I would like for you to go up to her and say, hey, huge fan of your work, because it would tickle me. It would be the cherry on top of this story if you went up to her and said, hey, huge fan of your work, I'm Gary Parrish. She's like, I know who you are. I'm a huge fan of your work. Like, that would be incredible. That would have been a moment.
Or she'd have been like, I knew the top 25 it was.
I read it every day.
Yeah, I don't know why you kept Purdue number 1 so long. Bro, I never really questioned that.
You would be surprised, GP. She probably that's probably why she said, hey, what's up? I see that guy on CBS Sports.
Because she probably has somebody who looks exactly like me every day.
100%.
Hit her with a, it's you. She has that every day of her life, I would assume, up until her life ended in a home in Oklahoma.
Pour one out for a legend.
Yeah,
pour one out. Pour one out.
The
Grizzlies had their rookie presser on Friday. Takeaways, Gary.
I think you guys have touched on it. Like, they clearly drafted with a certain mindset in mind. And it's not unlike, I heard you reference what Sam Presti said the other day. It's sort of, at least from the same cloth of, like, you don't just draft, awesome people if they can't play basketball. But it is beneficial if you can draft basketball players who, maybe not decent people, perhaps that's putting too weird of a label on it, but just like are wired a certain way. And what Sam Presti had said was, that's easier to get to multiply within a locker room. Like, you get the good guys. I'm using my own words here, but like, for lack of a better phrase, you get the good guys outnumbering the bad guys. You get the hard workers outnumbering the mediocre workers. You get the people who really want to get after it on defense outnumbering the other people, and that can bring the other people that way. I think this is true in life. Think about this. You guys are younger than me, but I sort of thinking through this under, from the same prism. Every bad thing you've ever done or thing you shouldn't have done that you ever did was probably alongside somebody who wasn't doing that thing for the first time.
1,000%.
All right?
It happened to me in Vegas last year.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. So if you don't have people who are dragging other people in that direction, then you can end up with nobody in that direction. It became a joke last week, I guess, but I think there's something good in there. Like, all these beers in the Oklahoma City locker room, and like, Jalen Williams took his first drink ever. Another player didn't know how to say Michelob. Another player was like, ugh, I don't like the way this tastes.
Yeah.
These guys don't drink.
They don't drink.
Okay, so guess what they're not doing probably? Not going out to drink. Nah. So then, think about all the things that happen to you when you're young and you're just a drinker. I say this as a drinker, all right, still to this day.
Yeah.
But has drinking ever taken you to a place you ever looked up and been like, man, I ain't supposed to be here? I shouldn't be doing this.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, right.
When the projects was over here, I ended up stumbling. I'm trying to go that way to the Edison. I'm stumbling out of, I think, 152. I ended up just drunk, stumbling around the projects, and then a gust of wind blows through. I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong place to be drunk. Like, how did I get here?
Yeah, and
this is not a good decision.
Yeah, and I don't even mean it like you're going to find your life at risk.
Yeah.
I just mean that I think it's probably, if you're trying to run a professional basketball team or baseball team or any team, having non-drinkers, non-going out people outnumbering the others is probably good. And so that is something Oklahoma City has seemingly doubled and tripled down on, and the results are the results. I'm not trying to conflate the two things, but Zach Kleiman has said at exit interviews, like, we want to add guys with a certain mentality. I think the term that gets thrown around a lot is dogs. These are very different players that they selected last week, but they all three have that as a part of their pros. Like, if you were reading scouting reports on all of them, every one of the strengths category would have something about mindset, tenacity, defensive versatility.
Plays hard every night.
All of that stuff is in there. And I don't think that's a coincidence. In fact, they more or less told us it's not.
Yeah, we need more guys that play hard every night. Because I feel like the issue was, like, last year, like, yeah, you played hard every night, but when you get to the playoffs, there's not a lot of guys that rise. You know what I'm saying? You need more risers than you do the guys just.
Yeah, and I also think it's important to point out that we're going to talk about these players because they're the news hooks of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But the only one who should have any sort of meaningful role on next season's team is Cedric Howard.
For sure.
Javon Small is a wonderful story, and his grandfather is incredible. But if he is playing a major role for the Grizzlies next season, something has not gone right somewhere else.
Screwed.
Something has not gone right somewhere else. And the Jemai Meshach, right, as always, we'll see. I think with that, you're just best case scenario. I mean, without putting ceilings on anybody, but you're in a playoff series in 3 years. You need somebody to come off the wing and apply real ball pressure, off the bench and apply real ball pressure, and he is equipped to maybe do that for 11 minutes. I mean, that's what you're hoping for with the 59th pick in the draft, if you're hoping for anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole draft, we'll talk about it as a collection of players, but ultimately, whether everything that happened last week and the Desmond Bane trade, whether it is ever looked back on as a positive or not, as the moment the franchise took a pivot into a new direction that turned out well, it's all going to come down to one thing, and that's whether Cedric Howard is what they think he is.
Yeah, I think it's too like whatever the next step is too is kind of like the next chapter, because you got Cedric Howard, you got these guys, but what do you do next? Like, what's the next step?
The next step, I think they hope, is that John is has a bounce back season, is healthier than he's been in a while, and reestablishes himself as one of the great, forget young term, just great guards in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Jaren continues to be what he has mostly been, and Cedric Howard emerges as the third best player on a team that can compete to advance in the Western Conference playoffs.
You think he has to be the third best player?
I don't think he has to be, but I think when you package multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, including one future just to move up 5 spots.
Yeah.
You are hoping that
Day one.
No.
Day one. Maybe the future. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to what Zach said at the press conference, I don't think you'll ever hear them say we are intentionally taking a step back because we're not trying to win as much as we can win next season. But this does feel very much like we felt like we had to possibly take a step backwards to eventually take a step forward. And that step forward, yes, is always going to be connected to Ja Morant being awesome and Jaren Jackson Jr. being awesome. But given everything that just happened last week, it seems clear to me that a part of that is going to be Cedric Howard being awesome as well. Not from day one, but in year 2, in year 3. I mean, how long did it take Chet Holmgren, how many years to become the third best player on a championship level team?
It took a while.
I mean, not really. I mean,
it took
like
2 years. 2 years.
Okay.
He missed his rookie season, played last year. Yeah, so 2 years.
Yeah, so 2 full seasons of playing, 3 years. He's basically, what is he? And we don't have to guess about this stuff.
Shit.
I'm going to assume 21, 22 years old, maybe 23.
22.
He is 23 years old.
Okay. And Jalen Wells, Cedric Howard's 21.
Yeah.
So by the age of 23, could you theoretically be the third best player on a team that is trying to be as good as anybody besides Oklahoma City in the Western Conference? Let's keep it all realistic.
I hope so.
I think that's what you're hoping.
Yeah.
Because they could have taken the assets from the Desmond Bane trade, packaged it with other stuff, and tried to go out and get an actual third best player right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Desmond Bane was the third best player on this team. We are going to have a new third best player on this team next season, and we're going to make a move for that veteran. And that was a reasonable approach, I think, but they have clearly decided to punt on that and go in the Cedric Howard. Whatever you think they could have gotten in terms of a veteran to help next season immediately, they have decided to instead go the Cedric Howard path.
Yeah.
And I do not believe that's because they expect Cedric Howard to be the third best player on the team next season necessarily, or better than somebody else they could have gotten. They just think that the ceiling on a Cedric Howard thing
is so high
and undeniably higher than the ceiling on whatever veteran they could have added using the same resources. That's an oversimplified way of putting it, but that is where we're at now. We are on and I don't mean to leave out Jalen Wells and Zach Edey,
Vince Williams,
Santi, all of it. Yeah. But right now, this is the bet that has been made.
Yeah.
Wherever we're going, It's going to be in 2 years, maybe 3, and it will be with John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and hopefully Cedric Coward being your top 3 players in your franchise.
It made Jalen Wells' game made it easier. I think Kleiman said that. I can't remember if he said it at the rookie press or right after the draft. Like Jalen Wells' improvement in the way Jalen Wells has played his first season made it a little bit easier to go ahead and say, all right, we can move on from somebody like a Desmond Bane, who's a tremendous three-point shooter. And if you got Jalen Wells out there who's playing great defense and knocking down threes, and then you have somebody like Coward with his size and athleticism out there knocking down threes, playing great defense, like you can't, I said it before and I'll say it again, you can't have enough of those. You can't have enough 3-and-D wings in the NBA right now. And that's huge for them.
And I think it's still reasonable to wonder, like, what is the ceiling on Jalen Wells? Like, how, like, incredible rookie season.
Yeah.
But, like, how much room is there to grow? How high does it actually go? But he clearly has proven already that he's capable of being a starter on a good team in the NBA. I know we're going to get caught up on positions, but, like, I don't care what you call them, but you just throw John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey on a court with Jalen Wells and Cedric Coward in between them. You know, if they both become what it is we think they can become, you've got real positional length there and real two-way potential there, and 2 guys that have shown the ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter there. Like that's they're both young, but if you're trying to see where this thing can grow into, if those guys both pop, you've got something really nice.
I hope there's one more. I hope there's one more move before the season starts. I want to add at least one more, either a wing that's played like other than KCP, another vet wing or another vet big to add to the group, because I'm in the field of, okay, yeah, cool. Day one, I don't want Jalen can. I want a vet to start at that three spot.
Mm-hmm.
When day one we roll out the ball, it's John Morant, KCP, insert vet here. Jaren Jackson Jr., insert vet center here.
Well, that's what they wanted last year too, and nobody could do it. Nobody could take his job.
We need somebody to.
Right. I mean, if I were Vince Williams, that's what I would be saying. I would be saying that should be what I'm trying to do.
It could be you.
I should show up to training camp. Like seriously. Like if I were Zach Kleiman, I would be talking to all these guys and be like, the only thing you have to do to start for this franchise alongside John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. is beat out a second-year, second-round pick. Now, you couldn't do it last year. But, hey, new year.
Yeah.
We expected you to do it last year, and you didn't. Injuries, all that, we got it.
Mm-hmm.
But have the type of offseason where when you show up to training camp, we go, okay, now this is the player we thought we were going to have last year, because I don't know that you need Vince and Gigi to both have bounce-back seasons, but, man, it'd be nice if one of them did.
Just give me one.
I mean, we felt really good about them this time last year. Like June 30th, 2024, the opinions on Vince Williams and Gigi were, I think, dramatically different than they are right now.
Shit, they got them paid.
Yeah.
They got them paid. Wait, they're saying that Zaire got paid? Hold on. Oh, let's see. Zaire
But that's
Williams?
another one of those who
declined the offer and then get a new deal
done. And then the Grizzlies drafted him, project, was like, hey, this will be our guy on this Ja Jaren at the time, Dez timeline. He'll be that wing who's long, versatile, be able to knock down shots, and we'll be able to get some things going. It just didn't work for
yeah,
Zaire.
I mean, different.
It's hard. You can identify
the
need. It is hard to fill it.
Different types of players, but they kind of the belief they are placing in Cedric Coward right now is a similar belief in different ways, but a similar belief that they put in Zaire. Yeah. Like, we're going to move up to go get this guy, and he's going to be the missing piece to go with John, Jaren, and Dez. That didn't work out. You hope this one does, because if it doesn't, it's a mistake. I mean, you read all of the draft grades connected to the Grizzlies and every other franchise, and I've poured through most of them, and the consensus seems to be, among draft analysts, everybody loves Cedric Coward. Like, everybody loves Cedric Coward. All right? But everybody also says that's a big price to pay for Cedric Coward, just to move up from 16 to 11, and possibly too big of a price, unless the player hits. If Cedric Coward becomes, by year 2, a meaningful NBA player, by year 3, something where you could imagine him maybe making an all-star game or being a key figure in a Western Conference Finals, then nobody will care that the Grizzlies gave up everything they gave up to get him. It'll actually look like a genius move. But if he doesn't hit, it will be a mistake, just like moving up to get Zaire Williams was a mistake.
Were you hearing about Cedric because you were around college basketball all year? Did you? I know he got injured the first 6 games. Was there any buzz about his name or like?
He was out the first 6 games.
Not really. There was buzz. If you talk to, okay, I host the On College Basketball podcast for CBS Sports. We do 3 episodes a week during the season for 15 years now. I don't think his name was ever said on the On College Basketball podcast until we started doing pre-draft stuff and until he became a Duke recruit.
Okay,
he just, he played Division III basketball, then mid-major basketball, and then he played 6 games at Washington State. I do think had his season continued at Washington State, there would have been a moment where like he goes out and gets 24 against Gonzaga. Or goes out and gets 33 against somebody. The numbers would have just jumped out.
And you put them on your radar.
And then it's be like, okay, what's going on there? And then you dive in. But really, unless you were talking to NBA people specifically about off-the-radar prospects, his name was never going to come up. But obviously, he was well-known because not every staff, but lots of staffs, they just have people who run numbers and just to find outliers. Like I can tell you college basketball staffs that have recruited players without ever seeing them in person, and without first ever even seeing them on Synergy. It's at first just a numbers game.
Yeah.
And with Cedric Howard, a lot of this is a numbers game. 6'6", nice. 7'2" wingspan, okay.
Yeah.
A great athlete, okay.
High-level shooter.
Elite shooter, high volume, proven over multiple years. Okay. Let's just get that person in based off nothing more than what I just said, and let's see it in person. Basketball staffs will recruit and scout off of those type of things. They'll just find numbers that are, these are indicators of good stuff. Now let's get it in here and look at it. And if you were running those types of numbers on him, he was going to pop up in that way. So he was always going to get a closer look. And to his credit, when people came to get a closer look, that's where the interview stuff pops. And the mindset pops. It's like the numbers are unusual and indicators of great stuff. Now let's get the player in here and see who he is. And when you get him in here and you see who he is, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, it's a real prospect.
This is a sharp young man, wired the right way. Like all of his quotes, and this Matt Norlander story from a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you guys read it, but really I would encourage all Grizzlies fans to go read it because it offers a glimpse. First, it just tells you a story, but it also offers a glimpse into his mindset. And he has a unique ability to speak confidently without sounding arrogant. Not everybody can do that. I think that's where Shadir Sanders ran into some problems. He couldn't speak confidently without sounding out of line, to some people at least. And here's Cedric Howard, who speaks confidently, but doesn't seem out of place. It seems like it's coming from a real sincere spot. For instance, he's talking about NBA evaluators after he went to the combine, raving about him. And he almost was mad about it. And one of the quotes was, I just kept thinking, man, you guys should have seen this last year. It was here. I was here last year and I couldn't get an invite to the combine, couldn't even get an invite to the G League combine. But I love that quote. You guys should have seen this last year. Why didn't you see this earlier? It's like, I've been here. I've been here. You just hadn't paid attention. And now you're finally paying attention. And I was always going to show you this. I love that quote. He also talked about just wanting to do all the right things to maximize his career. The quote sounded very Wemby-like. Like Wembanyama has said things like...
You got a monk?
Not quite that far, but Wembanyama has said things like, there are no distractions with me. I'm not going to be in the clubs. I'm not going to be at wherever you think there are distractions. There aren't for me because I know what I am and what I want to be. And Cedric Howard talks like that. And there's this one quote where he says, I want to maximize everything I can in this sport. And what I believe is that I can be a Hall of Famer. Now, if that quote came out of some people's mouths, it would sound outrageous.
Ace Bailey, for instance?
Perfect. If Ace Bailey said that, it would not play the right way. For whatever reason, and you guys can offer opinions on this, but for whatever reason, when those words come out of Cedric Howard's mouth, you go, okay, you're impressed by them as opposed to turned off by them, and that's a great sign.
Gary, look forward to hearing all your thoughts on the GP show 10 o'clock right here on Grind City Media. Thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you, GP.
We got Omar Sankofa coming on. There's big news in the WNBA. Just found out about some expansion news in the W. Maybe Omari had something on that. And we got to get into this Malik Beasley story as well. It's crazy. You're listening to the Jessica Benson Show right here on Grind City Media.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
There are futures for Aaron Judge possibly hitting 400. Hitting 400 at the All-Star break, plus 600.
Oh, wow.
To have a 400 batting average in the regular season, plus 3,800. To win the Triple Crown is only plus 145.
I don't think he's going to hit 400 for the season.
I don't either. I that would be
ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back in, Jessica Benson Show. No Jessica, she's off on some type of a voyage, hanging out. You got CJ, you got Devin, and now you got Omar Sankofa. Omari is the Detroit Pistons beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. Omari, how's everything going, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to see y'all.
This is always a pleasure. Omari used to be the beat guy down here for the Grizzlies, man.
Yeah, shout out Omari, man. Good times at the South Bluffs down there around the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I still cross that Memphis trip every single year on the calendar, man. Like,
nice.
I miss y'all, man.
Good stuff, good stuff. You know what else is good stuff? The WNBA, they are expanding. They've announced expansion. They got an expansion team this year, the Valkyrie and Golden State. They've announced a team, the Tempo, up in Toronto. I think they'll start next year. And then it just broke. Detroit is getting a WNBA team back. The Detroit Shock used to be in the W. That team folded, and now there's a WNBA team coming back. Omar, did you know about this? Do you know what's going on with this? Because it just happened.
Yeah, I knew about it for a little bit.
That's because he's an insider, baby.
Yeah, there's a real beat writer right there, dog.
Yeah, and it went live officially around 10 a.m. this morning. But big news, obviously. I mean, the Detroit Shock were super popular here in Detroit. They were super successful here in Detroit. A lot of people were heartbroken when they left. And just seeing the NBA, just how much it's grown in the 17 years since, it's pretty amazing. So, it's cool that Detroit gets to be a part of that. And, we'll see if they can reclaim the Shock name. That's still TBD. But, obviously, that's going to bring that legacy back.
Do you know why the WNBA thought it was a good idea to go ahead and put a team back in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, Detroit's a sports city. Detroit supports its teams. You guys probably saw how crazy it was when the NFL draft came here, and then Pistons in the playoffs, and just how loud it was on TV. And it's a market that had already proven that it could support a WNBA team, and that's back when they were all the way out in the Palace of Auburn Hills. Now they get to play downtown, and their practice facility would be in one of the up and coming parts of the city as well, or a part of the city that's being developed, I should say. So I mean, a lot of excitement. I think if you're just looking at teams or cities that make sense to expand into, Detroit's got to be at the top of that list.
So I'm trying to remember the move. They go Detroit Shock, and then 09 or something like that, they move to Tulsa. They're the Tulsa Shock. Do they move again? Do they end up being the Aces, or the Aces just an expansion team?
Aces is San Antonio.
Okay,
Silver
so Aces
Stars.
is San Antonio.
Yeah, Silver Stars.
Okay, so then they just go to the Tulsa, and then it sort of just fades from memory. They end up folding in Tulsa. Omari, do you know?
Yeah, if they do end up reclaiming that, my guess is that it would be something kind of like when Charlotte got the Hornets name back.
Got you.
But we'll see. I talked to a couple people, and they said that the history should still be there. So, ideally they get to reclaim the 3 championships they won, but we'll just have to see how that all shakes out.
So the Shock, CJ became the Dallas Wings.
There we go. I knew they went somewhere. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it went Shock of Detroit, Shock of Tulsa, Dallas Wings.
Yeah.
Got you. So you say, Omar, you're right. Detroit is a major sports city. This is going to be great. Hopefully they can get the Detroit history back. You brought up the Hornets. I think the Cleveland Browns got that Browns history back when they came back into the fold as well. So what's next? What comes next when you get an expansion team in the W the way Detroit has?
Yeah, so they're going to build a new practice facility and headquarters, and it's going to be probably a couple miles east of downtown on a site that's been empty for a while. So that'll bring, they're saying development over there. It's the same. Tom Gore is just the controlling owner as he is for the Pistons, so there's no big change there. But beyond that, it's just getting everything in place. I think the headquarters is going to be a really big project because it's also going to be a youth sports academy and multi-sport facility with soccer fields and all sorts of other stuff. But beyond that, it's just the excitement and anticipation aspect of it. Outside of the headquarters, you already have the infrastructure, you already have the history. So it's just, ideally it's like picking up where you left off. So it's just at this point, just the 4-year wait for the team to actually start a season.
Are you gonna be on the beat for that also, or are you just gonna strictly be the Pistons?
We'll see. 2029 doesn't even sound like a real year in my head yet. So we'll see, man.
2029 is what, 4 years away? Okay.
4 years
We got a
away.
little time.
So we got some time. We got some time. Right now, though, with the Pistons, big news out of Detroit. Malik Beasley is under investigation for some gambling things, some player prop bets and things of that nature on the NBA. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, just the timing of it. Obviously, it's tough for that news to break on the eve of free agency. Obviously, there's a lot that's still to be determined as far as, if there's anything there. Like he's being investigated, he hasn't been charged with anything, obviously. So there's a process that has to play out. But, now you have this situation hovering over a player with an unsettled contract situation. So if you're the Pistons, it's, well, what if we sign him to the deal and then, like hammer comes down and now you have to figure out a plan B, like way after free agency open and this and that. So it puts them in a little bit of a tough spot. Not that they didn't have plan Bs or contingencies, but Malik Beasley had a historic season last year. Him and Anthony Edwards became the 4th or 5th players. He had 300 3-pointers, and he really just found a really good role and just really, got along with the fan base here. Like it really seemed like he had found a home. So it's just a tough situation. It's just tough timing, and we're just going to have to see how it plays out and what the Pistons will do tonight.
We spent the first 40-ish minutes of the show talking about the importance of that type of player, of hitting on a Malik Beasley, somebody. I think you throw Nickeil Alexander-Walker in there, throw Caruso, you throw the Nembhard in there. Well, not Nembhard, Nesmith in there for the Pacers, right? Like you've got to have that 3-and-D type of player, and somebody who, in Malik Beasley's case, made and took a bunch of threes from a floor spacing standpoint. That piece is so incredibly valuable in today's NBA. What are the contingency plans for the Pistons? What do they do? I know you have a contingency plan for if the player opts out or if the player in free agency chooses somebody else. But what's the contingency plan for, hey, we can get him, but we just don't know how long we're going to have him? What are the Pistons planning on doing, or what do you think the Pistons should be planning on doing?
So it was reported that they were going to agree to a 3-year, $42 million deal, which is basically their mid-level exception, around $14 million. So there's other guys in that price range they could go after. Gary Trent, he's a really good shooter, established shooter. He's an unrestricted free agent. You have a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker who will probably be able to get $1 or $14 million on the market. We'll have to see, because the Brooklyn Nets are the only team with cap space, but there are teams that can finagle signing trades and have trade exceptions and stuff. So the Pistons may have to make some maneuvers to have enough space to actually get him if he's the top priority. Karis LeVert's a name that's been thrown out there a bit. You have other guys.
How much of that Karis thing is that the Pistons are in Michigan and he was a star at the University of Michigan? Is that a realistic thing?
Yeah, I mean, they also have Tim Hardaway Jr., but I also just
another Michigan kid. Hey, Omar, where's that? Have you been hearing about the Santi Aldama kind of buzz about? Because every time I see his name on the Tom, it's Detroit. It's Detroit. It's Detroit. So,
yeah, it's like the situation with that is that he's restricted, so the pathway is even tougher for the Pistons to get there. Like you could, throw. You could clear cap space and offer up to 16, 17 if that's what you wanted to do. But, is that enough for Memphis to be like, yeah, we're not doing that? Or do you have to not throw in extra capital to get Memphis to blink? So, is that a realistic path? Like, it would take a lot on the Pistons end to make that happen. So I won't say it won't happen, but I think especially with the Beasley news, they have big needs elsewhere as well that they have to fill.
How surprised were you about the Beasley news? We talked about it some before the break, but how surprised were you?
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. This is still a situation that's due for the league. He's the third player to get involved in this type of trouble after Jonte Porter and Terry Rozier. So you have a few examples now in the last year and a half or so, probably less than that. You've had some NFL guys get tangled in it, like another Detroit guy up here, Jameson Williams. So it's tough to predict, but gambling is just it's everywhere now, and players are going to do it. So it's been a recurring problem, and it's always tough to predict how any of these situations would play out. But it's something that these leagues are going to have to crack down on and figure out from there in too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Omari, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us about the new Detroit WNBA team and the Beasley news, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, bro. Good seeing you.
That was Omar Sankofa of the Detroit Free Press. Follow him on the Twitter. Great follow, great dude.
Great dude.
Miss him in Memphis on the beat. He was one of my favorite beat reporters in the city.
For sure. We used to kick it. Like I said, we used to kick it at South Bluffs a lot back in the day. We used to have some vibes at South Bluffs. And so, yeah, shout out to Omar.
There was one Thanksgiving. I had the people in media who weren't home.
Yeah.
Who to come through and hang out for Thanksgiving. Omari was one of them from Detroit. Kari Thompson. He was on
Boston,
the high
right?
school beat. He's doing big things in Boston now, but yes, he's from Boston. And Evan Barnes, all the way out there in California. All of them came over. We had ourselves a grand old time. It was good stuff. It was I'll tell you off air. It was some funny stuff that popped off.
I already know it. Shout out to hey, those are the best kind of vibes, bro.
Absolutely. Thanks to Omari. Big news out of W. We talked to Omari about it before we get to a break. Your thoughts? You saw three teams or three cities getting W teams: Philly, Detroit. Now I'm blanking on the third one.
Cleveland.
So W is expanding. We've been clamoring for it for about 2 or 3 seasons now. They're doing it. Your thoughts, Devin?
I was happy about the expansion, but I was mad about the fact that the South doesn't have another WNBA team. You know how much in the South we love basketball. We support our teams. They love women's basketball in the South, whether it's Knoxville, whether it's Nashville, anywhere in the South, really. And the only team in the South we have right now is the Atlanta Dream.
I mean, you're not counting Dallas?
You count the Wings?
Yeah, that's
It's
Texas.
the South. Okay, so
South,
2.
yeah.
But I think there needs to be another team in like the D South, whether it's Mississippi, whether it's Tennessee, whether it's like in this area, right, where they love sports, right? I think that was kind of the part where I took away. It's like I'm happy for expansion because I know those WNBA rosters get a little tight because of how many good players we have in the W. You have lottery picks getting cut in training camp, so you have places for them to go now. But I just didn't like the fact that we need another team in the South. We need another W team in the South. It doesn't have to be in Memphis, whether it's Nashville, whether it's Knoxville, whether it's just name another Southern city. Because we love sports down here, bro. We support our teams. So that's my biggest takeaway is that the W kind of neglected the South as far as like putting another team down here.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that a little bit more on the other side. We'll get into some Hot Mess Express as well. Talk about WNBA All-Star Game, all coming up next on the Jessica Benson Show.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Are you ready? Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The Grizzlies, grannies, and grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Tony Allen joining us. I believe Hey!
Young TA with a fresh chop. That boy sliced today, boy. You say that boy got the tape on the side. Okay, TA.
Hey, and I like how you blurred out your background so we can't see that La Quinta this time.
Can't see the hole in the wall, TA.
Can't see the hole in the wall.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Tigers are going to play in November in the Bahamas, the Baha Mar tournament, and the other teams expected to be there. Purdue, Wake Forest, and possibly Texas Tech. So Texas Tech's going to be good. Purdue's going to be good. If you don't have a roster that puts you in that same conversation, it could be a tough trip to the Bahamas.
Yep.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What can the Memphis Grizzlies learn from the Thunder Pacers NBA Finals Series?
Your style of play is not something that you really have to change. Both of these teams love to play fast. Both of these teams love to play really aggressively on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. Last segment of the Jessica Benson Show. Jessica's parts unknown. Hope she's safe, having fun, or not having fun. I don't care. She'll be all right. We were talking during the break. WNBA expansion, Cleveland, Philly, and Detroit. You brought up before the break, put a team in the South. The South needs some teams. And we were just rattling off, continuing the conversation, just rattling off some places where the teams we think could do well in the South. You got some retread markets also getting expansion teams, right? Like Detroit is a retread.
Exactly.
You've done it in Detroit before. You're doing it again, and
You've
it's
done
great.
Cleveland. You had the Cleveland Rockers back in the day.
Done Cleveland, doing it again. That's great. So a city like a Charlotte could get a good look. We were talking about the cities, Knoxville and some of the cities in Alabama maybe, but those are, I think, too close to Atlanta for that to work.
Yeah.
But Charlotte isn't.
Charlotte
could work.
Because the best women's basketball team in college basketball, one of the best, if you don't want to call them the best, is South Carolina, right? The Gamecocks, right? You got Don Staley. Why not put a team, if you, like you said, you can't put one in Knoxville, Nashville, in that
You could put one in Nashville.
If you put it, or Nashville.
Nashville is far enough.
Put the team in Charlotte. They've had the Charlotte Sting already, which Don Staley played for back in the day. So like I said, either whether it's Charlotte in North Carolina or like a Columbia or a bigger city in South Carolina, because South Carolina loves women's basketball. Yeah. And why not kind of try to hit that market? Also, we talked about...
You've done that with the Connecticut market.
Exactly.
Like the Connecticut Sun are there in part because
of UConn.
Connecticut loves women's basketball.
Exactly.
Because they love UConn Huskies.
So put a team in South Carolina because they love women's basketball in that state. Another thing we talked about is it's interesting there's no WNBA team in Florida. Like they had the Miami Soul and one of the inaugural teams in the W. Why not hit Orlando? You mentioned getting that Disney money. You already got the Magic. That's two, putting that war together. You got the Miami, another Miami market. Calling them Miami BBLs if you really want to. We know that market's going to go crazy down there. It's going to be coming like Atlanta. But like, there's so many cities in Florida that you can have a WNBA team in. I just think I'm happy for the expansion, bro, because the W needs expansion so bad. But I think when you mentioned the Toronto Tempo that you just announced a year ago. You hit that Canada market. Now you announcing Cleveland, Detroit, and who's the other one?
Philly.
Like, I'm cool with it, but I think the South needs some love, man. Give us some love down here in the South, man. I need me a Southern WNBA team to ride for, bro, because my Aces are trash right now.
Oh, don't get me started on the Wings. They could also do some of these lesser or non-professional sports markets, right? Non-Big Four markets. I think a team in Louisville could do some
be
things.
Dope.
We were talking St. Louis there. That's a great sports city. Hell, look at what they do for the UFL and how they show up and show out for the UFL. I'd imagine that they do the same. They love basketball.
Would you do St. Louis, or that's too close to Atlanta too?
St. Louis is 4 hours from Memphis. That's not close to anything.
St. Louis, get St. Louis a
St.
team.
Louis is around. But yeah, man, it's great that they're expanding. Maybe next expansion they'll put some teams in the South. It'll be cool to see. Other news, breaking news. We never get breaking news on this damn show ever because we're on so early. The news doesn't really start to break until like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Folks still like this on the breaking news train there.
But breaking news. Jalen Ramsey is being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is getting a $1.5 million bonus for being traded. Adam Schefter is reporting that says that the Steelers get their guy and Ramsey gets another raise. Looks to be a win-win for everybody involved. The Steelers just got Aaron Rodgers a couple of weeks ago as well. So the Steelers are looking like they're going to be making a push, somebody to contend with in that AFC North, which is loaded with star quarterbacks. When you think about Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, got to have some DBs back there to cover receivers. Like, this is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun division to sit down and watch on Sunday.
That Steelers team is loaded. When you go TJ Watt, you go Patrick Queen, you go Darius Slay. Now you go Jalen Ramsey? He can still hoop, right? Like, he ain't washed yet, right? He's not the same Jalen Ramsey we saw in Jacksonville, maybe.
I'm not
but
sure.
I think he can still hoop. Like, I think he can still hoop.
Listen, I'm blinded by my Innsworth hatred. I hate the evil E.
Oh, he is. I don't
rock with Innsworth in that sort of a way.
I
thought he was washed a decade ago, but like that's just me. That's just me being a hater.
The NFL, I thought he was washed.
He's done. Oh wait, even worse. Was he Brentwood Academy?
I think he was Brentwood Academy, bro.
Even worse then. Yeah, he was washed 15 years ago at that point.
6 All-Pros later, he's still washed.
Just terrible. A terrible football player.
But it's crazy.
You're right. That defense is going to be good enough to get the job done for the Steelers. Let's see what the offense looks like with Aaron Rodgers, an old, aging Aaron Rodgers. They got him some help. The Steelers have had quite the off season. Didn't they get DK Metcalf as well?
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see how this all comes together for Mike Tomlin's bunch.
You got Aaron Rodgers at QB. You got DK. I know people like to put smut on his name because he's a little old. He was good like 10 years ago. My boy Robert Woods. He was good forever ago. I got my boy Calvin Austin in the slot. Mm-hmm. You got some dudes, man. Like, I know I hate playing with the Steelers because their uniforms are so traditional and so OG, but the Steelers are looking like a sneaky good Madden 26 team, CJ. Sneaky good.
Let's get into some Hot Mess Express,
Let's
Jacob.
go.
Chugga, 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 chugga. All aboard!
The Hot Mess Express. Chugga, 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 chugga. I threw that to you way too fast, Jacob. My bad, baby. Hot Mess Express time as we got like 9 minutes left on the show. Devin, tell me why your boy James Harden is walking like this. Why is he walking like this? Paris Fashion Week was this weekend or ended this weekend. James Harden took to the runway to model something or another. And my man walks like he's got both a jock itch and a wedgie, right? Like I've never seen anybody walk like this, and I'm not really sure what is going on. First off, shout out to everybody with their shirts off. Yeah. I need to get the Paris Fashion Week. I'll rock a shirt off. I got a shirt that's see-through right here. Right here. And look at James Harden. Look at him walking.
Yeah, he walking like he got to
What is?
It's like I got to take a dump, but I also got to get this. And I'm also hot.
What is happening now?
It's a lot going on, bro. He's walking like a NPC, bro. Like I said, he walking like he got, like you said, a wedgie. And like, I don't know, it was weird. It is weird. James Harden, by the way, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on. My boy Jaren's out there too, by the way, for Fashion Week. I saw some videos of him, some photos of him kind of over the last 2 weeks. Russell Westbrook's out there.
Everybody, a lot of those.
A$AP Rocky. CJ, I got a hot take. As much as I love my guy Trip, I think the hot fashion stuff is weird.
Yeah.
Like the super hot, like play that video again, Jacob. Like the dude's just standing up there with like no shirt and like the
like you can't wear that
like,
out.
Like where are you wearing that to?
You can't wear that to the movies.
What occasion are you putting this? What are you wearing that to?
You can't show up to the grocery store like that.
Where are you freaking these fits to, bro? Like where are you wearing a shirt that says hardcore on the hat? Like James Harden, where are you wearing that to? Where?
I mean, he's wearing it in the tunnel to walk into games, but outside of that, like there's no place where that is acceptable. Like, can you imagine having a 9 to 5 and they're like, oh, it's casual Friday, and your coworker Carl just shows up, no shirt, no shirt.
Like I saw this on Parrish Fashion Week. That's why
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it. It's high fashion. It's high fashion. The Kelces are doing stuff.
They are.
They're doing stuff.
They're always doing stuff.
They for some reason this week we've seen a couple of Kelce tattoos. So one of these tattoos, Jacob, just pick one and throw it up there, and I'll tell you about it. So this tattoo right here is Travis Kelce. For those of you who are listening and not watching, it's him booty bucket ass naked riding on a can of Accelerator, which is an energy drink. So Accelerator had a contest. If you got Travis Kelce tattooed with Accelerator on your person, they send you a couple of cases and they send you a signed Travis Kelce jersey. And my man went out there. I think he's a police officer in Ohio. He's like, bet, got it. Got a picture of this man wrapped around butt ass naked and nothing but, this is crazy. This is the crazy part. Had the receiver gloves, had the cleats, and the socks. And that's it.
Raw dog in the Accelerator.
And that's it.
Raw dog in the Accelerator on the tattoo. Also, it's not even like a small joint. It's a big one.
Scale of 1 to 10, Devin. How egregious is that tattoo?
I think it may be a 35.
All right. Well, this one is a 50.
There's worse?
This one is a 50. Here's his brother. What's the bigger? Jason Kelce. This is a woman's arm, Devin. Throw that back up there. This is a woman's arm.
Why?
She is a Giants fan. Her husband or boyfriend, fiance, whomever, is an Eagles fan. She lost a bet. Had to get the Jason Kelce tattoo.
And his wiener's an eagle.
His penis is an eagle. Yes, it is not just in the eagle. It's the Philadelphia Eagle. Throw it back up there because he is full on naked, right? I think he might have. No, he's got knee pads and elbow pads. So he's naked with elbow pads.
He got like shin guards on too,
which is insane.
What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people?
Listen, man, they love them some Kelces. They're begging for Taylor Swift to comment in the comment section.
I would never love a sport that much where I would get
a butt-naked man tattooed on you?
Come on, bro.
A butt-naked one?
A butt-naked one.
No.
Not even in pads, a butt-naked man.
Just a butt-naked one.
Okay, how about this, CJ? How much would I have to pay you to get a butt-naked man tattooed on you? What is your price? Because everybody got a price.
I could go for $200,000.
That's all.
That's all. That's enough for me to pay off my student loans.
Okay, wait. Are we putting it on? I'm talking about like arm.
Yeah, I got tattoos on my arm now. You don't see them.
I know. I'm saying, okay, so you butt naked man on your arm.
Yeah.
Okay. $200,000.
$200,000.
That's all.
Easy. I don't need Ronaldo money. We'll talk about that at some point in time this week. He got paid.
You gotta give me a meal.
Oh, a meal.
I need a meal ticket.
Man, listen, I might be selling myself short.
Cause I gotta explain that, bro.
No, you don't. I got paid to get this. What do you mean? I'll get it right there.
On the neck?
I'll get it right there.
You put the tattoo on Tekashi 6ix9ine style? What about Tekashi? You put it right on the forehead? Like Amber Rose?
Forehead, I need like 10 mil on the forehead. Okay. I don't want to mess up the face.
So as you go up, the price goes up?
Yeah. Okay. Arms, chest, belly, back, thighs.
What about trampy joint?
$200,000. That's fine.
For the tramp joint?
For the tramp stamp, that's fine. I'm good. I'm good. Last thing about the Kelces before we go. Jason Kelce did this. Not really sure why. Don't really understand what is happening. He's out and about. It looks like he's amongst a bunch of Eagles fans. He just grabs a ladder or a step stool, slams that down. He's in red, white, and blue American shorts. And then he stands up. You think he's getting the crowd going? Nope. He's ripping it off to reveal an American flag Speedo. Look at that woman's face. Jacob, keep running the video. Because you got to see the reactions. Look at her down front, blue shirt jersey. Look at how excited she is.
She got, I promise you, she went from Sierra to Super Soaker real quick, boy, when you ripped that thing. By the way, no socks on the New Balance, first of all.
Or ankle socks. Throw it back up. Because it might be ankle socks.
Throw it back up, bro.
Throw it back up, Jacob.
Doing that with no
it might
socks,
be ankle socks.
Doing that with no socks is crazy. Number 2, I feel like if you wear American...
Yeah, he's got ankle socks on. He's got ankle socks.
I feel like
look at her face again.
Oh, she was ready to go. She was ready to go. I feel like these are the rules here. If you have American shorts on, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you have the red, white, and blue Creed short, you can do anything you want to.
Yeah,
By the way, walk around the Speedos.
Just in the Speedo. And everybody knows who the hell you are also.
And I got a jersey on that says my name. Actually, you know what? That's kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie. Pause.
Well, listen, man.
I got a jersey with my name on it, and I'm wearing an American Speedo.
You gonna wear the American Speedo on tomorrow?
I might.
On Wednesday?
Somebody ship me one. Darnell, Amazon. I swear, if you can get it here by tomorrow, I'll wear a.
You wear the American flag Speedo on the show.
Okay, that might be a bridge too far.
Now it's a bridge too far.
It might be a bridge too far. I think
but you'll just wear it out and about. You won't wear it on the show.
I take that all the way back.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna let you do the Speedo. I'm not a Speedo guy, bro.
Okay.
I mean, my legs are. My legs are big as hell. I can't do Speedos. You can wear a Speedo? You haven't worn a Speedo?
No, not yet. I plan to.
In your lifetime on this planet, you never worn a Speedo?
No. No. Always been swim trunk dude.
That's what I'm saying. I've always been a swim trunk guy. I'm a shorts guy.
Yeah. Couple of things before we get out of here. Did you see Beyonce's car malfunction?
She got a what?
Her car malfunction.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
No.
Damn it.
Beyonce is, Cowboy Carter tour is going on. She's in Houston, her hometown. 16 carriages is the big number. She comes down on a car singing 16 carriages. The car, one of the straps snaps. So now the car is linked as she's descending from the sky. She is coming down, and what I can only imagine is one of the scariest moments of her professional career. Comes down gracefully, comes down cool. I scream on teacup rides. I scream when I do the little tilt-a-whirls.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being lowered and trying to keep my composure as I'm being lowered the way Beyonce did, but she did so. She had a little bit of fun on Instagram as well. She said, Houston, I love you. And she had how they do. They have a whole bunch of pictures. And
bro,
the last picture,
terrifying, bro.
The last picture is her on the gangster link. Looks like she's got hydraulics in the sky right now.
Yeah, that's terrifying though, bro. Yeah. That is. We can't have Beyonce going out like that, bro. Somebody got fired, CJ. Somebody lost their job.
Somebody absolutely did.
Somebody lost their job.
Somebody absolutely did.
I will say, if she would have went out, she would have looked good doing it, boy.
That does it for the show today. Thank you, Devin, for coming in, man.
Thank you,
Gary
man.
Parrish is up next at 10 right here on these airwaves. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have more fun stuff to get to tomorrow. And everybody, till then, take care.